Have you ever wanted to convert the ordinary into D&D extraordinary? Then this video is for you. Hi guys, this is DM Dunn. In this edition, we're going to teach you how to take ordinary objects and turn them into D&D extraordinary objects. This is Dungeons & Dragons Beginning Crafters Conversion Series. So the first thing you can do is when you start thinking with a Dungeons & Dragons and a crafting mind, you're going to see things in the stores a lot differently. For example, I found this little bag of spiders at the dollar section at Target one day. And I was like, hey, those could be just giant spiders. So I didn't do anything with them other than I just bought this whole bag for $1 and I just made a little monster card for it. So just create some stats for kind of however strong you want them to be. And now I had a new made-up custom monster that wasn't in the monster manual. First of all, that's as easy as that right there. Now you can also go and you'll find these little tea lights. They look really awesome because they can flicker, and if you have them in a little candle holder, they look pretty awesome and they don't burn you and they don't blow out. But instead of seeing just a candle, what you can do with a crafting mind is you're going to see them as campfires that can actually glow, flicker, and be really cool for your players to sit around and while they're trying to take a long rest, maybe they make it, maybe they don't. So there's different techniques on how to do these, but the easiest thing is I just popped the top off of them, and then you've got the really cool light, and then you can just hot glue and kind of fill in the base however you want it to be. One thing to keep in mind though, if you try to use the switch to turn it on, sometimes it needs a little support that's inside of there, so you'll have to craft something to keep on hold that down as it slides forward for the light to actually activate. So you just got to get a little creative. A little piece of cardboard, a little piece of popsicle stick or something like that could work. Okay. And you can also, instead of seeing those as candles, you can see those as flaming skulls. So same concept, hot glue, but then I just put one of these little skulls. These are actually heads from a Halloween decoration. These were like little skeletons that were like a little line of lights that were hanging there. And I just took the heads off and made the hole a little bit bigger so it fit over that light bulb. And voila, flaming skulls. A little bit bigger than what they're supposed to be in the game, but they look cool on the table. And that's really what we're looking for. Another thing you can do is you can actually just buy, I'll try to see if I can find the link, and I'll put in there the link for these plastic horses. And I bought this dozen of horses, and they were like red and yellow and just kind of like funky colors, and they were just supposed to be these like little plastic toys. But I was going to have a caravan of wagons, and I wanted horses to be able to pull them so they could see them, and of course use them for cover, jump on it and ride away, things like that. So what I did is I got them, I painted them. This was one of my first paint jobs, which means that's why there's not very decorative, but I did what I did, and I made some horses, got some cardstock, just cut them out, and then just glued them right on. Again, pretty simple process, flocking on the bottom, but now I have a dozen horses. Now, as far as wagons go, here is a wagon that I found via information from another crafting video at the Dollar Tree. And this comes with a big set. It comes with like some cowboys, some Indians, a little campfire, all of that, and this wagon, even a horse for just $1. I didn't use any of the rest of it. I just used the wagon. And so you can take the ordinary wagon and then you can convert it into something that looks a little bit better. So I did some dry brushing to get some different depth on the wood. And then I actually put paper towel over the canopy part, and so it made it look like more texture, and then just a little bit of paint and color on that as well. Now what's nice is these actually can pop off, and I actually just got some foam and made little squares and made it look like they were boxes of crates inside of there. And then of course, as you look from the back, it looks really neat. If you look in from the front, looks pretty awesome. And of course, they roll right along. I also made some without the tops. Again, squares. I didn't have to paint these squares. Paper towel and diluted with water, just regular school glue. and made some tarps and just kind of cut them to fit. So got a couple of wagons with tarps on there as well. So I also made one because they were going to be hauling like big chunks of wood to take and carve them into, like, you know, magic wands and whatever. So these might look familiar from my other video of the building stones. So these are those same exact shapes, but I just painted them brown and brown highlights, and now they look like big sections of like tree trunks. And so that was just another option as well. Now I did get fancy, and I wanted to make a carriage that the people could ride in nice and comfortably. And I wanted to make it versatile as well. Like, we always want everything to be versatile. So what I did is I built it to be able to fit over top of it, but it could be removed, and if I had a different cover, then I could put a different cover on. So this was made from just popsicle sticks and matchsticks, and then I just kind of custom fit it around the base that I had right there. On the inside, that's actually just a little couple pieces of fabric, little gold fabric that I had laying around. Actually, my wife had it. I asked her for some, and I just like glued it on the inside from the windows. And so, voila, you've got a custom built carriage that your party members can ride inside. And I made this front part big enough that a miniature could actually fit inside of there and sit on there and drive it with the 1-inch base as well. So there's another little carriage that you could make as well. And so popsicle sticks and matchsticks come in very, very handy when you're doing your crafting. You can use them for a lot of things. Another thing that I did is I went and I bought at Hobby Lobby just some little wooden cubes. And then I used the matchsticks and I cut them very meticulously to put them on all the sides to make it look like these were crates. And then did the paint. So another way you can just take some inexpensive wooden cubes and turn them into crates. And I use those a lot. I also cheated and went to the same Hobby Lobby I saw. These were actual pickle barrels, and these pickle barrels, you could just paint them like I did, but what I did is I didn't use a razor blade, I used like a flathead screwdriver, and I scratched these little lines into it to make it look like pieces of wood that were going through to give it some depth, and then painted it black so that there would be black inside those lines, and then the brown, of course, and then the metal for the metal bands. And again, you need scatter terrain. Blocks and barrels, crates and barrels, not that store, but crates and barrels are always nice to have in any Dungeons and Dragons game that you're going to have. And then also at the Dollar Tree, I found some wrestlers. I think this one was the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I don't know who this one was because I'm not, unfortunately, not a big wrestling fan. And these are obviously too big to be miniatures for your D&D game, so these are giant statues. And I modified them so they didn't look like they were wearing, you know, wrestler, you know, tights. I just got some paper towel and put them around there and just cut it to fit. And then after it dried, was able to paint it. I made this like look like a strap that goes all the way over them, and another one right there. And then just painted them gray like statues. Same bases like I always do, just cardstock. And then some paper towel on the base, wrinkled up, and diluted glue to harden it up. So you can just use regular wrestling toys and turn these guys into great statues that your characters and your players can look at as well. And then one more thing that I did is around Halloween time, I found this skull. It actually had a jaw that opened up as well, and it sat on top of like a little pedestal thing, and it just was a decoration is all it was. And I decided to basically take the jaw off, the bottom part off, and I wanted to use this. And the reason I did this is I built it into like as if they were in a cave, and this was at the end of a cave. And if you've ever seen the movie Goonies, well, I was created a one-shot that kind of had that concept where they had to go into the nose of the skull. And then what I did extra to make it a little bit fancier is I left the bottom open so that I could pull a flap open, and I actually put one of those tea lights in there so that I could turn it on. And then I had a magnet inside of there as well so that I could glue it to the roof so that whenever they were looking at it, there was torchlight coming out of the nose. And so that was the way they had to go through their cave. So just wanted to give you guys some ideas of when you are walking around and you're shopping and window shopping and you just see things, these are the type of things that you can go, wow, could I use that in my game? Can I convert that somehow? And if you can't think of something, probably get it anyway, especially if it's only $1, and ask some other people, or check out all the crafting, other crafting YouTube channels, and you can ask them questions as well, and they'll give you advice. Or heck, ask me. I'll try to give you some suggestions as well also. So that's what this is all about, is having fun, making your game more exciting. And if you like this video and you want to help us out, do me a big favor. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and you can also help us out by supporting us via our Amazon affiliate link. If you're going to be buying anything from Amazon, it really doesn't matter what it is, hit our link. Then you'll be able to log into your normal login for your Amazon, and then Amazon gives us a little bit of a kickback, not much, for basically getting you to Amazon. So that helps us out. You can also help us out by becoming a Patreon, and that's just a monthly donation that helps us keep these videos going as well. So hey guys, thank you so much, and until next time, have more D&D fun with DM Done.